Hey YouTube, this is Prometheus, guys, giving you more of the meta. So guys, I want to go ahead and share with you why I have switched into the Nickle 3-3 odd defense as my base defense, in particular the cover 4 drop defense. And the reason why I like to use this is it's a good base defense to use. You kind of get a feel for what your opponent likes to do and make adjustments based on that and switch up your coverage shells a little bit. But this protects you against giving up any kind of big plays. It really makes it difficult, forces people to check things down into the flats and underneath, and just allows you to just get a better feel for what your opponent's doing on defense. The previous gameplay I played, I had a guy that was basically just hitting big plays after big plays above me because I was using a lot of match coverages, and this is a nice little change of pace, and this is out of the 3-3 odd defense in the Vikings. Just want to go ahead and give a shout out to some of the subscribers and people watching these videos. Recently saw someone from Scotland as a truck driver post, basically it's very surprising to find someone watching these videos from Scotland. But let me know what you guys do down for a living and where you're located at. I'd love to see that kind of feedback down in the notes. So let's go ahead and jump into this gameplay. This guy was not the best, but he actually was not that bad of a player. And basically once again, if I'm doing this, I'm just going to run cover 4 more than anything else, just to kind of get a feel for what my opponent likes to do. I think he hit me with a play action play right here. This guy was available, but this guy's really challenging my deep defenders in this type of situation. Takes a shot up, and this is where he could have got an ag catch. Fortunately for me, I'm able to knock that ball out, but that could have got a little bit ugly, so this guy actually hits me play action right away. Now he goes into a bunch set. He's got his bunch set over here. I'm going to go ahead and stay with the same defense once again to get a kind of feel for what my opponent likes to do. And typically what I like to do is I like to shift my line over to make sure I don't get out leveraged for any kind of run off the left. I don't think this guy's got a counter. He does an auto motion, so basically I kind of shift my guys over, then I click onto Edwards, and he's got like a little hitch route right here. He's got another hitch right here, flat, and a post, and he sees his open man and just goes and checks it down. I was pretty much stuck in limbo right there because my other yellow zone had to float up to take care of that post. So good read and progression by him to take it. No huddles in this type of situation. I think I go ahead and jump into cover 9 just to switch things up a little bit. Right here he goes with some type of play action. I slide up. He's got a bunch of routes going this way. Everything's pretty much bracketed. He takes off this quarterback. He doesn't have any progressions to go with it. I'm able to go ahead and tackle him for a few yard gainer right there. So it goes into normal Y off close. You got basically your 2 wide receivers here. You got your 2 wide receivers and your 1 running back. So the strength of formation's on the back side. Let's see what I go and jump into. I just jump into, I think, cover 9. Right here he goes with the run right here, and nice little move. He jukes the ball back into the double blocking right here. I try to shoot the gap, and he's able to go ahead and fall forward for a first down. So he's pretty much having his way with me right now with his offense for the most part. Now he's got a wing set. You got a very heavy set over here, so stretch, like slant type play you want to be looking for in this. I'm just using a very generic defense. I'm not really worried about him carrying a deep post because I've got this kind of covered up with my guys. That's why I'm bringing this guy down in the box. More worried about kind of like little crossing routes or any type of stuff like that. That's what I'm more concerned about. So that's why I'm pulling my safety down, and he actually hits me with a run smoke play. Just not something you normally see online. It's actually pretty good for the most part if he was looking to get a 4-yard gainer. I don't necessarily think that's a bad offensive decision. Right here I go and jump into cover 9 once again, and I think this is where he makes a mistake. I think what he did is I think he went with a read option and he kept the ball, if I recall correctly. And this puts him in a situation where, okay, he does do a read option. My defender comes down, crashes down, and it puts him in a 3rd and 11. So now he's kind of behind the chains, and I decided to go ahead and dial him up with the Niggle Dog Meg. Usually the first time you go ahead and hit someone with really aggressive double A get blitz, they're not expecting it. So I've got basically everybody spread out. I'm going to go ahead and take this guy down and box, or basically mug the guy up. I'm going to take this guy, slide him out into a half. And then if I have time, I'll try to shade on the inside. But I've got basically, I've got 3 defenders over here, these 2 wide receivers, and I want to make sure the pressure comes in pretty fast. So I'm going to go ahead and blitz down with my one guy. He's making adjustments himself, and right here he does a mesh concept. This was open, but he couldn't get the ball off based on it, and he was scrambling off to the backside. He hit me with mesh, and unfortunately for me, I'm able to go ahead and get a sack on him. So smartly settles for 3. That's not a bad decision. If you get a possession opportunity to go up by a score, getting a possession is the most important thing in the game. So the score is tied 3-3 all. There's 17 seconds left. I can't give up any kind of cheap yards. This is why you want to go ahead and run cover 4 drop. Cover 4 drop is a solid defense that doesn't give up big plays. You know, there are certain ways to manipulate the defensive players to give up big plays, but for the most part, most people don't have an easy time doing this. He actually hits me with an inside run and picks up a big chunk of yards, takes a timeout. So I'm in a situation now that I can't allow this guy get too far across the field. He needs roughly about 20 yards, 25 yards, and he's going to get into field goal range. So I don't want to give up any kind of big plays. Any kind of stop, tackle in bounds is a good situation for me. So him calling a run play on that first play was actually a pretty good decision. He actually goes ahead and does a little out route right here. And I'm not really worried about the crossing routes. He's got a bunch of crossing routes, and I'm able to go and sack him. And this is pretty much what ties up or puts him in a situation where he's not going to be able to get in field goal range. So once again, I'm stay with cover 4. Over the top coverage. I don't want to give up kind of cheesy yards right here. I've got contained, so if he scrambles out, he tries to throw into the gap, and now that is pretty much it. He's not going to get any points on the board. We're going to do a total prevent defense right here. Go ahead and QB contain, not allow his quarterback to break out, and we're just going to do over the top coverage, push everybody off, and just try to make sure that he doesn't hit me over the top. He wants to hit me on the sideline, that's fine. He takes a shot up top, and I got 2 defenders out there. Luckily for me, I don't give up any kind of BS type stuff. Now this is where I switch things up a little bit. I've been using this as my base defense initially, and then I switched over to 3-3 single mug, cover 9, Texas 4-man, just to go ahead and make sure I take away this guy's run. This is a better defense against a run because you've got a lot of confusion with the defensive line doing the stunts, and it does mess up the blocking of the offensive line. So I want to make sure that I don't give this guy any kind of an opportunity to run the ball, and sure enough, he does do, I think, a draw play right there, and as a result, I'm able to go ahead and get a stop there for a 3-yard loss. Now I jump into just a generic cover 4 coverage. I want to shift my line over just to make sure that he can't run, but for the most part, this is a passing situation. We're going to go ahead and slide up. I'm just going to play over the sticks. Got a little crossing route right here. He doesn't really know where to go with the ball, and you can see right here I go ahead and get another loss, bottle him up with a 3rd and 13 situation. Now I go ahead and light him up with the blitz. He actually flips a play. Somehow I got into the substitutions. Pull my guy down. I want to go ahead and take this guy and do some type of flat or man him up, but because I got stuck in that substitution box, it kind of messed me up. So I do a hard flat out there, and I'm going to go ahead and blitz my one guy with the anticipation this guy is going to get off the edge. He blocks his running back, making that drop not work. And right here I'm taking Bard back up into the play. Unfortunately for me, he does not come down with it. I get in a situation where he actually punts the ball. So 3rd and 3, actually not a bad decision. You want your opponent to earn the touchdown or to earn the field goal, not give them an easy opportunity, but he punts the ball. I don't know if he was trying to do some type of glitch with the situation, but because I have a short field, I'm able to plug it in and get basically 10-3 up by possession. He's got plenty of time to score, tie the game up, or actually go for 2 to go ahead and go for the win. So if he wants to milk the clock, he can do that. Now he goes into open, pistol open, close formation, and I'm just going to go ahead and stay with the cover 9 just to kind of switch things up a little bit, spread my lines out. I'm going to use this guy right here. But my goal is to hopefully get one of these blitzers in to with the twist to basically go ahead and force him out of position. He actually goes with the run play, and you can see how this actually bottles up the run. So I just took this guy's run away just by switching up the defense. Now I'm going to go into coverage with the anticipation that he's going to go ahead and try to pass against me. I shift my guy over here with the anticipation I'm going to have to take a crosser, and I'm assuming that this guy might actually come out, and I'm going to have to push, just basically wall this guy off and then come with any kind of drag underneath. So simple verticals play is where I'm looking at. He actually runs the ball. I get picked up, but fortunately for me, my other defender comes up and actually stops us. Put this guy into a 3rd and 8. Now I'm getting this guy in third and long situation, so I'm pretty much controlling the tempo of the game. Go into the dog mag right here, and once again, I'm trying to set this up. I'm going to pull my guy down, and he actually motions this dude out. And I start thinking, okay, I've got to play that particular play. I could re-blitz him. But what happens is that by the time he motions this guy out, he basically has essentially no time whatsoever right there, and actually goes into the 4th quarter. So similar situation. I'm going to set this up once again. I've got a quarter flat out there, and I'm basically going to blitz the house right here, and I have to get my dude out this side and try to defend against what he's doing with these routes. And you can see that this guy kind of comes down, this guy comes down, and I'm taking away this particular route to the outside, and he actually drops it down to basically it's a flat curl concept. Good read. I was looking at the other stuff on the other side. That was actually a good decision by him. I had some type of a curl flat out there that basically got me a little bit screwed up on that. So now I go ahead and jump into cover 9 once again, and here he actually exposes me. He sees the weakness of my coverage and actually hits me in the seam. I'm actually playing, no, actually this is where he's going to come back to this, but watch how this blitzer comes in. He does throw it to this guy out here. I'm able to go and tackle him for basically 2 yards. But he sees a weakness with this defense because I'm playing this outside line, this middle safety. It means the seam is my responsibility. I've got to protect that, and this re-rec hook that should attach to this guy is completely out of position. So it is a situation where I should probably be slid over just a little bit more in this type of situation and just kind of float and then come back to try to protect the other side of the seam. But he goes ahead and motions this other guy out, putting stress with these 2 wide receivers, anticipating there might be something going on this side. And I think what I might do is I might float over to see how I kind of float over to the two wide receiver side, and he's got a clean seam right over the middle of the field, and that was my responsibility, and I didn't get out there. So my dude did fall up underneath it, and I probably could have just floated right here in the middle of the field, but I pulled myself out of position because I went to the 2 wide receiver side opposed to the 3 wide receiver side, which was my responsibility. So I quickly go ahead and adjust. I jump into basically a cover 9 coverage. He goes ahead and runs the ball right up the middle of the field. So this guy's he's picking up on my defensive tendencies. He's having a kind of a free for all right there. And now I go ahead and jump into basically a cover 4 coverage. And in this type of situation, I'm going to go QB contain. And then another thing I want to do is I want to spy this guy up. So my responsibility is to watch for this guy to carry over the middle of the field or drag. That's my responsibility. And then trying to play the middle of the field doesn't do that. Right here, he's making some adjustments, and I'm actually kind of carrying with this guy. I'm bracketing over the middle of the field, but because I have this spy in the middle of the field, that means anything that's crossing underneath it gets frozen by him. He can't throw it. And right here actually goes ahead and takes off this quarterback. He had that spot right there. That was the spot that he needed to go to, and he missed it. And right here, I actually get a nice little QB spy strip, and my one defender right here actually gets an interception. And right here, I'm able to go ahead and truck down. My guy started pulling away from his offensive line. You can see him pulling away, and I thought to myself, maybe I should try to milk the clock out because we're inside the 2-minute warning. And then I thought about it, and it's like, why go ahead and gamble and put myself in a situation where I'm not going up by 2 scores? So I just took it in the end zone. So here's the next series on defense. He's in a bind right now. He needs to score 2 touchdowns, so he needs to get a touchdown really quick and then try for an onside kick. I'm kind of in the driver's seat. This is where I'm going to use the cover 4 coverage. in this type of situation. I press my guys down, then I go ahead and take my guys over I push him over the top. He's motioning out his running back. I don't know if he's using a stock play or not, but right here I'm actually kind of covering this stuff up. He checks one down, and that's fine. If he wants to keep checking down, that's fine, because he's going to have to roll the clock or take timeouts, and he doesn't have that lever. He doesn't have that in his situation. He can't basically go ahead and use these type of plays where he's burning 10 seconds every single play. Back to the cover 4 once again. Now he takes a shot up top. I'm going to go ahead and jump onto Brisker, and right here I'm able to go ahead and get an interception over the top, and that's why I've been jumping to cover 4 drop. It's just a lot of people have a hard time with it. I know I have a hard time with it based on people making adjustments off of it and using it as base coverage. It is a difficult coverage to pass against. I found that out labbing and stuff like that, and just running against people that use it. So if you're looking for a nice base coverage to use cover 4 drop initially in your games, and then blend it in as you blend in some other stuff. So once again, thank you for your support, guys. Until next time.